I'm not very good at painting. I've tried all kinds of techniques, from wet blending to dry brushing to non-metallic, metallic, and it just seems to me that I could never really nail any of these techniques. So this got me thinking, instead of focusing on techniques, why don't I try focusing on textures? It's something that I've experimented a little bit with in the past with my frozen depth guard. You know, I've got quite a lot of like ice with resin and snow texture paints, and some of them look okay, some of them not so much. But this time I've decided to take it to like a whole new level. Here in front of me is my Mossy Bloat Drone, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind it and how I achieved this look. Now, you may remember a couple of years ago, my wife and I visited Japan, and I love Japan. I've been there multiple times. I actually lived there a little bit in the past. But on this trip, we went down to Kyoto and we visited some of like the northern mountainy temple areas. It's honestly magical up there. You feel like you're walking through like a Studio Ghibli movie. Like all of the temples and structures and roads and everything, it just feels like it's being like reclaimed by the forest, and there's roots, there's moss, there's just nature everywhere. And that really stuck with me. I did take a whole bunch of photos as well, because I knew that one day I would want to try that sort of theme on my Depth Guard army. So fast forward to today, I've recently finished filling up like one level of my display shelf of all my frozen Depth Guard, and now I figured it's time for something new. Here in front of me is pretty much everything I used to achieve the look I was going for, excluding paints. And apologies, I didn't film like the painting process itself, but if you're keen on like a proper tutorial at some stage, let me know in the comments and I'll try sort something out. So I started off by using these texture paints over all of like the flat armor areas of the bloat drone, because I wanted it to look like natural stone with all its kind of like imperfections and like rough edges. I also used a bit of typhus corrosion, and this was more for like the metallic areas, just to give those areas some texture too. Once that was all done, it was pretty much just painting as usual. I did use a lot of dry brushing, particularly on the stones. I used like a few different grays, and then like on the metallic areas I used a lot of Riser Rust to get that orange look. Oh, and I should talk about this as well. I took a bit of inspiration from like poisonous rainforest frogs for like the fleshy bits on the back, and you can see it's very colorful. I used an airbrush to kind of achieve that gradient, and I think it looks really cool. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, once all the painting was done, I pretty much just got my PVA glue here and this green flock, and I just used a brush to like paint on PVA glue here and there where I wanted the moss to be. Grab some of this, put it all over the model. It was very messy, it was very fun, and I really like how it's turned out. Then, just to give it a bit more depth, I added a few tufts. You can see I've gone through like all of my 2mm moss tufts here. I contemplated using these ones as well, but they were a bit too big. These are 6mm ones. And then I also had a few of these kind of like jungle leaf things lying around, which I did use on the base, but not on the model itself. I also forgot to mention that my model is fully magnetized. I always try my best to magnetize weapons when I can. You never know what's going to happen with units, and at sometimes one unit will be good, at other times different weapon options will be good as well, also depending on what kind of army you're bringing. With all that said, here is the final result. So I can't wait to start applying this theme to the rest of my pile of shame. I think I still am going to experiment a little bit with this a bit further. One thing that I was kind of like thinking about is you can get so many different colors of this. You can get like really autumny colors like oranges and yellows and reds. So I thought it would be quite cool maybe to do like autumny versions, you know, put a bit of yellow in there, a bit of orange. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, I guess. But I think it's going to look so good once I apply this theme to more of my models, because I've still got about, I want to say around 2,000 points of Depth Guard which I can paint. So it's really exciting for me to be trying out like a new theme with them. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this kind of, I was going to say painting style. Would you call it a painting style? I'm not too sure. But anyways, until next time guys, I will see you around.